You serious?
Hello and welcome to another episode of How to Kill an Hour. My name's Marcus Bronzy.
Bonjour, I'm Sean.
How you doing, Sean?
Very good, bro. How's it going?
I'm alright, thank you very much. This is a show where Sean and I scour the internet, tell you some jokes, find some ways to kill time, tell you about them, and also have a look at some of the weird and wacky stuff that is going on in this world. And yeah, Sean, I've got some weird and wacky stuff going on in this world to tell you about.
It's perfect. It sounds like exactly the right kind of content for this section.
It's almost as if I researched, went on the internet and said, wow, that is wild and wacky. Perfect for a wild and wacky part of a podcast.
Right. That's crazy.
If only I was on a podcast where we did have wild and wacky things that we looked into.
And lo and behold.
It's mad, isn't it? It's mad. It's mad. But yeah, let's jump straight into it, shall we, Sean? Sean and I look at some jokes and call them our jokes of the week. So this feature is called Jokes of the Week. Week.
Yo.
It's weak.
Hey, that was I respected the echo.
All right, Sean. I got a few dirty ones. I got some silly ones. They're all kind of long, you know.
Fair play.
Yeah. Shall I go first?
Go on.
This isn't actually quite long. It's quite short.
After all of that,
Three women are in a gym locker room changing clothes before a workout. Suddenly, a man runs through the room wearing nothing but a bag over his head. The women all get a very good look at his penis and then stare at each other in disbelief. The first woman is stunned and she says, "Well, that sure isn't my husband." The second woman replies, "You're right, that wasn't any of our husbands." The third woman says, "Hey, that guy's not even a member of this club." Somebody's been getting busy in the club room.
A young woman goes to confess her sins. "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned." "What have you done?" asked the priest. "I have sinned by being vain. Every morning I look in the mirror and I think to myself, I am such a beautiful woman. Any man would be lucky to have me." "That's not a sin," says the priest. "Really?" says the woman. "No, it's just a mistake."
Wow.
Oh, savage priest.
Bro, that priest is out here just sending zingers out here and there. That is wild, man. All right. Bro, I like that one. Right. An older, white-haired man walked into a jewelry store one Friday evening with a beautiful young girl at his side. He told the jeweler he was looking for a special ring for his girlfriend. The jeweler looked through his stock and took out a $5,000 ring and showed it to him. The old man says, "I don't think you understand. I want something really special." At that statement, the jeweler went to his special stock and brought over another ring, and he said, "Here's a stunning ring, and it's only $40,000 or pounds." Did I say pounds before?
Webs.
Yeah, innit?
40,000 of the currency, of the local currency.
Yeah. "Here's a stunning ring, and it's only 40,000. The young lady's eyes sparkled and her whole body trembled with excitement. The old man said, "Well, I'll take it." The jeweler asked how the payment would be made, and the old man said, "I'll pay by check because I'm old school. And just if you need to make sure the check's good, I'll write it now. You can call the bank on Monday, verify all the funds, and I'll pick the ring up in the afternoon." Monday morning, a very teed-off jeweler phoned the old man. "There's no money in that account." "I know," said the old man, "but can you imagine the weekend I've just had?" Oh, yeah.
I saw this one coming. I was like,
oh, yeah.
I like that one. That was a good one. It's a short one. "I'll always remember my dad's last words before he died. Stop shaking the ladder, you little shit."
You can keep telling that joke for years
I know,
to
right?
come. Bro, that is one of my favourite jokes ever. All right, here's a longer one, right? Extra points if I don't fluff this up. A policeman pulls a farmer over for speeding and proceeds to write him a ticket. The farmer notices some flies buzzing around, annoying the officer. The policeman is shooing the flies more than he's writing. The farmer says, "I can see you being bothered by those circle flies." The policeman says, "If that's what you call them, then yeah, they are quite annoying, these circle flies." The farmer says, "Yeah, we call them circle flies because we see them circling around the rear ends of horses." The policeman says, "Did you just call me a horse's ass?" The farmer says, "Oh, no, officer. I have way too much respect for those who serve in law enforcement to ever say such a thing." The policeman says, "Well, that's a good thing then." The farmer adds, "But it's hard to fool those circle flies." God. I love them ones. You right, constable?
We got away with a lot of that back at school. A man was mending his roof when suddenly an elderly, messy man showed up on his lawn yelling to him, "Sir, would you get down, please?" The man, not wanting to have to climb down and up the ladder again, yelled back, "What's the matter, sir?" The old man replied, "If you don't mind, just get down here first." The man thought for a second and, being the polite man that he is, climbed down the ladder. The old guy said, "Can you spare me some money, please?" The man, after thinking for a moment, said, "Come with me." He climbed up the ladder, with the old man following him. When both of them were already up on top of the roof, the man turned round and said, "No." It's one of the ones I feel I'd be that petty.
Yeah. No. I matched with a Tinder profile with no pictures of their face. So I thought, could they be a real person? But when we had a little chat, they were clever and humorous. So I thought, flip it, let's go for a date. They turned up at the door. They were this cute little blonde with curves in all the right places. After exchanging our names, I asked her what she does for work. She said she's a Sunday school teacher. I said, "Oh, wow, I've never been with a Christian girl." I asked her if she minded if I took her to the second best restaurant in town. And she said, "Yeah, that's absolutely fine." I thought, all right, cool. On the way there, I took out a joint of my finest cannabis, offer it to her. And she says, "Heavens no, what would I tell my Sunday school children?" And then after a sec, she went, "Well, I guess some people smoke and some people don't. But I'm not going to have any thanks." We went to the restaurant and she orders lobster, I order steak. I choose the second most costly bottle of wine available. However, when the waitress brings it over, the lady says, "Sorry, I don't drink." I'm like, "Why don't you drink?" She goes, "Heavens no, what would I tell my Sunday school kids?" But you can crack on. We laugh at each other's jokes and I sip a few drinks. Obviously have quite a few drinks because the wine's all mine. And as I'm driving home, I pass a cheap hotel and I'm a little bit tipsy. And I thought, fuck it, I've got nothing to lose. I said, "Do you want to get a room and knock boots?" She says, "Yes, I thought you'd never ask." I'm like, "Really? You're like a Sunday school teacher. What would you tell your Sunday school children?" She said, "The same thing I tell them every week. You don't have to drink and smoke to have a good time."
Easy.
Oh,
Oi,
all of that for a meaty joke.
That was
a meaty joke.
100%.
100% medium joke. I promise the last one I got for you will be better. I'll make a comeback.
Okay.
Bloody hell. Alex is there smashing the keyboard to bits.
Okay. A TV crew is doing an interview with the Navy, Army, and the Air Force. They asked the Army guy, "What would you do if you woke up and found a spider in your tent?" The Army guy replies, "I would take off my boot and I would smash it to death." They asked the Navy guy the same question, "What would you do if you woke up and there was a spider in your tent?" He replied, "I would take out my bayonet and I would stab it to death." Finally, they got to the Air Force guy. "What would you do if you woke up and there was a spider in your tent?" The Air Force guy paused for a second with a confused look on his face and replied, "Well, first, I would call the front desk and ask why there was a fucking tent in my hotel." Air Force, isn't it? That's an Air Force joke, isn't it?
Little Air Force joke there. Shout out to the servicemen and women. All right, here's a better one, I promise, Sean. A best man at a wedding notices that the groom is incredibly happy. "I know that you're happy for your wedding day," he says, "but you seem ecstatic. Do you mind if I ask why?" The groom says, "My bride just snuck into my room while I was getting into my tux and she gave me the most incredible blowjob. I am about to marry the best woman ever." As the bride is walking down the aisle, the maid of honor notices that she's really happy as well. And she goes, "Why are you so happy? I know it's your wedding, but you're like over the moon with happiness." The bride says to her, "It's just because I gave my last blowjob." Come on. Lock him down.
A man is driving through the desert, thinking he's alone, when he sees another man in a fancy car approaching in the distance. When their vehicles meet, the first man greets him and suggests swapping cars. The second man refuses, explaining that his luxury car is very expensive, while the first man's is very dirty and very old. The first man insists, claiming his car is magical. He rubs his car, a genie appears, and he asks the genie to make some tea. The genie complies. Impressed by this demonstration, the man with the luxury car finally agrees to the exchange, handing over the keys to the first man, who drives off. Shortly after, the man who had the luxury car rubs it, the genie appears, and the man asks for $1 million. The genie looks at him and replies, "Oh, no, I just make tea." could spin on it.
That's
There's a
heavy.
lot of genie jokes. I like a genie joke.
All right, Sean. We should be done now, yeah. But I feel like I've got to make a comeback for my meaty jokes. It's a really short one.
I feel that as well.
Doctor to the patient. I have your test results. Patient to the doctor. Did I pass? Doctor. No. You will soon know. There you go. That's short.
I'm gonna end on.
Oh, you got one as well? Okay. All right.
What do you call an unemployed Rasta?
What do you call an unemployed Rasta?
Jobless. That one tickled me, man.
Yes. All right. Well, there you go. Those are our jokes of the week. It's time for us to move into the next part of the show where we talk about how we've been killing some time, aka our killer bit, aka our killer bit.
Oh, yeah, you can tell that we proper rehearsed that. That was smooth.
Yeah, man. This is where Sean and I talk about stuff that we've done. We've done activities before. We've reviewed tech. We've reviewed TV shows. What have you been doing this week, bro, that you want to bring to the table?
I've just been doing a lot of flat hunting.
Yes.
I've been
Okay.
doing all the viewings. That's what my whole week has been consisted of.
Isn't it interesting that every flat you go to, it's had a lot of interest?
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's mad, isn't it? Like, there's been a lot of interest here. It's been on the market for like 2 hours, but we've had about 50 people call us. Is it? I've seen
18 offers.
Yeah. All over market value as well. But I can't tell you what it is, but it's, it's a juicy one. It's a juicy one.
Offers in excess of. Yeah. I spoke to one guy the other day. I went to see somewhere. It was on for like $450. I went to look at it. It wasn't my bag. It was nice. It wasn't my cup of tea. The guy called me back the next day and he was like, just to let you know, off the bat, we've already had an offer in excess of the asking price. So $450 or more. I was like, okay, cool. Just to let you know, I'm not really... My man grilled me for like 5 minutes. He was like, what could have been done to like make you all this? And I was like, bro, I'm not really out here trying to do your job for you.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he was like, so like, if you were to make an offer, what would you make an offer? And I said, look, I've seen places which are like 40k less, which I like more. And so he was like, okay, so you would do it 400. And I was thinking, I don't really understand why you're doing this because you've already got
what's going on here?
You've already got like supposedly you already got one for 50k more. So I just was like, yeah, I probably would be interested in 400.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah.
So it worked. It worked in the end. It worked in the end. But yeah, man, I just feel like, does it have to be? Think about it though. Yeah, for such an important decision, we spend an incredibly small amount of time looking at a place. Do you not think about that? Like, bro, it's the place where you spend it's the thing you own where I would argue you spend the most time in apart from your body.
What you should be able to do is you should be able to like pay to spend a weekend there.
30 days. Money back guarantee.
Oh, right.
On 30 days. I want to know.
What's a warranty out here?
I want to know if it can take my toilet after I've eaten some big Nigerian food. I want to know if I've gone out for a night out with the lads, yeah, and I've had a couple kebabs, back that up with a big breakfast.
You don't need to do that. You already know who needs to go and test it.
Who?
Come on, man. Come on. We both know who needs to go and test it. We've got a mate.
We've got fly him over. Is it him?
It's not. No, it's not him. Come on.
Oh yeah, cool.
Come on. Think about who if we go away with. You do not want to be caught in a room. He's gone and blown up.
It's me. It's me. I'm that guy.
I feel like you're second in line.
Yeah, I'm second in line. Yeah. The toilet destroyer. The guy that if toilets could talk, they'd quake in their boots.
They would. Yeah, and just at the mention, it would be like be like Voldemort.
Yeah. He who must not be named.
Yeah,
man. So I'd want to check if the flush is turbocharged, and also like seriously though, like man, it's got to be. But like we hardly see it. You hardly see it. Like, and listen, this doesn't just go for buying, it goes for viewings as well, right? They do the same stuff. You see it for like sometimes an hour is the longest I've known people have been in a place, but that's a long time.
But you don't you test drive a car.
Yeah.
You go and you're like, this is what I would normally do in a car.
Yeah.
Drive it. And you're like, okay, cool. So really and truly you should go, make some food, go to the toilet, have a shower. Have a little nap.
Turn the heating on.
Watch a bit of TV.
Yeah.
Chill in the garden if it's got one.
Say hello to the neighbours.
Say hello to the neighbours.
Yeah.
Have a little chat. Have a little chinwag over the fence.
So it's one of those ones, like, I think if you are doing it, like moving somewhere or whatever, I think you need to like lurk around the area. No, lurk's the wrong word. But I think you need to hang around the area a little bit and take it in.
It's not a bad idea, because if you lurk around the area, maybe Like, you might drive the price down, innit? They're like,
Yes.
well, shady characters around here, innit?
Yeah. I mean, that's
anyone
an
else-
insult wrapped in a compliment that you just fired at me right now. Just tell me by being in an area, I'm going to lower the value. But it's cool. Thanks, man.
I'm not. I'm no take backs. I'll come and join you.
Yeah,
I'll come and join you,
yeah.
and we'll just scare any other prospective buyers. We'll just scare them. We'll just lurk around and just
You got to
stare at them.
do. You got to do something that's not illegal, but makes the area sound bad. So stand around and be like, "Yo, you got any weed?" Like, to people that definitely, like, we're talking like,
Got any bread?
Got any bread? Got any weed? Like, we're talking about a family that's getting their shopping out the car.
Yeah,
Excuse me,
yeah.
you got any weed? And they're like, why are you talking to my kids? That's what you need. That's gonna drive the value down. Do you get me?
That seems a bit illegal. What if you just say illegal? I just went around asking kids if I could buy drugs off them.
What if you just say jokes after? Does that count?
Psych.
Haha, psych. Here's my psych button. Yeah, but
It's very true.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's literally like a lot. You kind of go in semi-blind, don't you?
yeah, man. It's good that there are surveyors out there that actually go and look at the property and properly check it out for you. And I would argue that they probably spend more time in the house than you do of your first viewing, going through everything to make sure you ain't got
great.
like Japanese knotweed or something.
Yeah, I mean stuff like that. But even like, ideally, you want to like look in all the nooks. You want to open all the cupboards,
Yeah,
see what's going on and that. And it's not really. It's a
Yeah,
bit
man.
frowned upon, isn't it? Someone, especially if someone's living there, it's an invasion of privacy to a degree. But also, you're
Yeah.
like, fam, I'm trying to buy this place, so like, I'm gonna look in everywhere.
I'll be honest with you, bro. I've flushed the toilet and turned the shower on before to see how the shower is. Because the
Yo.
worst thing was, could you imagine you
Yo.
move into your perfect house and the shower has zero pressure in it? Right? Oh,
I
man.
would cry.
Yeah.
I would. That is
Yeah. So
It's a deal breaker. So you're right.
So, because once you go in and christen a toilet, that's like a ceremony within itself. But if you can't finish that off with a nice warm shower, like, are you even living, bro?
Are you?
You've not christened that
Are
place,
you
bro.
even living?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what I did with my some of my evenings and the whole of my weekend. But it's been a fun. It's been an entertaining.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. God,
activity.
I remember when I had I can talk about it now because I'm not there anymore. Do you remember when I had the coach house?
Yeah,
that was
place.
a little cotch in it.
Do you know what I always remember? That do you remember you held like a leaving do thing when I was going travelling and that?
Yeah.
I
Was it a
remember
surprise?
that.
Did we surprise it?
Yeah, man. I didn't know it was.
Oh,
happening.
yeah, we had a cake
that
upstairs and
place,
everything.
because that place had like, it was like exposed brick, if I remember.
Yeah.
And it had like a mezzanine.
Yeah.
Where it was like the sleeping area. That place was cool, man.
It was very chill.
I like that place.
And because it was like its own little thing, play tunes, whatever. And like, do you know?
it had like
I
a
think-
side entrance bit, innit?
Yeah.
I
So it
remember.
feels like you're off the road. Like, you know, for me, wherever you are, I feel like the best thing that you can get is a little bit of peace of mind. That's what it's all about. As long as you have a place to have a bit of peace and a bit of quiet, I think you're onto a winner, man. But yeah, that was good times, man.
What about you, sir?
Right, so a few things, Sean. I've got a TV show, I've got a bit of tech, and a car. Which would you like first?
I want TV show immediately.
TV show. Right, Apple TV, I've been saying for ages, is such a sly deliverer of quality shows. Not quantity, but quality shows. Now, prerequisite, Sean, this isn't going to knock any of our favourite shows off the top spot.
Okay.
Jack Reacher, Slow Horses, we know. But Colin Farrell has got a TV show called Sugar about a detective called Detective Sugar. And it's kind of like the LA noir detective with a fresher twist because it's in this day and age. And it's executive produced by him. It's a totally fresh written concept from what I've seen. And it's just I've only 5 episodes in because it's not finished. Like I've done 5 episodes, but there's like a few more to go. It's just a really nice modern take on the detective series. So like the blurb
You
for
know
it,
about crime as well. I'm a sucker for any crime stuff.
it's a good one. So it's private investigator John Sugar, come, yeah, examines the mysterious disappearance of Olivia Siegel, the granddaughter of a legendary Hollywood producer.
Beanie Siegel.
Yeah. Beanie Siegel, yeah. She's quite a good rapper. She rocks the mic right. He doesn't like to hurt people, but if he needs to, he does. His background seems that he seems to have a particular set of skills, is the way that he moves. And this isn't spoiling anything. So in the first episode, you're like, right, he's got a
Sounds like
particular
Taken
set.
suddenly. Okay.
That's why I just wanted to get in there as well. Yeah, and Collins is a great actor. Like, and you see a bit of Hollywood. It's got some great cameos from known faces in there, and it's just pulling me in. Real pleasure to watch. one of the first shows in a long time that has a slow pace where I've not like been like, oh, can I just skip a bit? I've just been watching the whole thing.
Okay.
It's dragged me in. Good show, man.
I mean, that sounds like right up my street. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, IMDb's liking it at the moment. The last few episodes are getting 7s and 8s. Can I get the average for it on IMDb? Because IMDb is a good little, like, you know, most of the time can give you a good little.
It's one of the ones where it's a good indicator, but depending on what the genre is, I take it with a pinch of salt sometimes.
Yeah, man. Yeah, 100%. 7.9 is what it's got. So it's quite a strong rating.
But
yeah, no, enjoying it. And it's just a really, really. It's just dragging me in. Like this, he's. How do I put this? He's quirky. In one way, like he's a little bit different. He's wired a little bit different in a couple of ways, which you see as the show goes on. Some of it may be problematic. Some of it helps him get through other situations. He seems to have a really good like PI's memory as well, so he like remembers stuff. And there is that kind of thing where someone says something, he's walking along, and there's a voiceover that goes, "She said exactly the same thing as he said yesterday. They must have spoken." That kind of stuff.
Okay.
Intercut with noir stuff and old movies as well, because the character is a fan of old movies, so they'll play like an old detective thing for a few seconds as well.
Okay.
So it's really nice.
I like this.
And it's got like that solemn saxophone, you know.
Yeah.
It's really cool, man. It's nice. It's like a refreshing take on a bit of true crime, but it's not too deep.
Okay.
Like it's not too, do you know what I mean? It's not like, you know, some stuff you watch like Baby Reindeer that I watched.
Not.
Did you not yet?
I haven't watched it yet, but I watched I did watch the trailer for it. And I did see another film randomly. I think it was on off the like match of the day or something on the weekend. There was a film after it, which was about a stalker. And I ended up watching it. It was one of them ones where I didn't know what it was about. And I was kind of just like being lazy. And then I was already invested in it by the time that I realized that it was like a bit creepy. And it turned out to be very fucking creepy. It was. Anyway.
What was the name of it?
Greta. It was creepy as.
Right. This is the life story of Greta Thunberg. Is it a smear campaign?
It isn't. But it is about a lady who leaves bags on the train, like her handbag. So she leaves a handbag on the train. A girl comes to get it. I'm going to give you I'm going to try and do this real quick. A girl sees it.
Yeah.
She opens it, looks at the ID, and then there's no lost and found in the station. So she goes and she drops it off to her. And the woman says to her, it's so kind of you, do come in. They start kind of having like a friendship. This lady's maybe 55, 60.
Okay.
They start. This is a youngish girl, maybe early 20s. Mm-hmm. Start having a relation, like having a friendship. The girl at one point, she's like the lady setting the table. They're gonna have dinner together. She opens the wrong cupboard, and there are rows of this bag, all with all of the stuff in it. Oh. And then she turns around and they've all got like the name and the number of the person that has returned it.
Ooh. That's the sound in it you hear in the film. I love that.
And then she turns out to be like off, like she just turns up at her house outside her work. She stalks the shit out of her up until the point. I don't want to kill it because it's actually.
Well, I think you kind of done that already.
No, because
it gets deeper than that.
Yeah, it gets
deep.
Wow.
Okay. All right. I might stick on. Isn't it great though when you're just watching TV and you start watching something, you realize you're like 5 minutes in, and you're just like, this is great. I've never heard of this film before. Couldn't expect it, and it just drags you in, and you're like, oh, that's nice, isn't it? I was just sitting there watching adverts, and now it's 2 a.m.
And when you go to watch a film like that as well, there's like a couple of films in the past where I didn't organise it, and someone was like, "Oh, come along," and I was like, "Yeah, cool." And then I turned up to watch Shape of Water. I hadn't even seen any trailers or nothing. I was like walking in, and I was like, "What is this about? I don't even know what this is about."
Yeah.
I love that film.
Yeah,
and I was just like, "It's brilliant."
If you go in with zero expectation, especially a film like that, where it's like, I think it's a Del Toro kind of like graphical kind of like when he's behind the buttons, for want of a better set of words, you get this really eerie kind of that energy behind it. Do you know what I mean? So that was a fascinating.
Ambience was like, it was.
Did the fish Did the fish fuck? Did she fuck the fish?
Doesn't she turn into a fish at the end?
I can't remember.
She had like gills. I think she turned. I can't remember, but
there is some rumpy pumpy in it.
The
fish is in the. Sinks his hook.
And now all I'm thinking about is the Kanye South Park Do you
I do
remember
not
that?
eat fish sticks. Do you fish sticks? Yeah.
Why do you just get the joke, man?
I'm not gay. That was. I love that, man. Cool. So that's a TV show. You've got car or tech next, Sean.
Car.
All right, cool. Car is Lexus sent over the LBX, which is their. Basically, we all know Lexus make quite big vehicles.
This is a
They
hybrid?
make very techy vehicles. This is a hybrid, yes. It is, this is what Lexus say, bringing a fresh approach to the everyday drive. The all-new LBX self-charging hybrid combines agility with ease and efficiency, redefining luxury with a stylish compact size which sees no compromise in performance or design. Experience the signature Lexus premium standard with a new look. Some might say it's anything but ordinary. Please click below and see more. That's what it says on the website, but you don't have to click below because you're listening. So yeah, basically they've made a small Lexus. So
Okay.
we're kind of
Crossover.
it does feel like it's got the SUV crossover energy to it.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it fits fully in that, but it's slightly higher than a normal car. But I feel like it's in the range. If you were going to compare it to something, you might compare it to a Polo. Feels smaller than a Golf, slightly bigger than a Polo in terms of like size. If you want to look at another car,
It's actually.
it's quite small. Yeah. So they've gone because Lexus, for big Lexus cars.
Is it like a high hatchback? Like a one of those I was trying to think like the 500L.
Yeah, kind of like that, the 500L or like the Mini XL, that kind of stuff.
Big, wouldn't you say that's bigger than the Golf? I feel like that's
It's somewhere
one
in
step
between
up.
there, Sean.
But you're saying that it's actually
in between it, yeah.
Oh, okay, but it's actually between the Polo and the Golf. So it's,
I would say, yeah, but it feels like it's slightly higher. It feels like it has more presence in the vertical sense of that way. I don't feel like when I get into it, like when you get into like a Golf or A3 or something, I feel like you sit down and you're quite low compared to when
Right, okay.
It almost has that SUV feel to it, but in a really small vehicle compared to the rest of their Lexus. So the one I had was a 5-door version. It's self-charging hybrid, so obviously me gamifying when I'm driving, managed to get 55 to the gallon, bruv, which is like 50 more than you get to the gallon when you drive.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It's got all of the cool bits of tech in it. So it's got wireless CarPlay, USB-C chargers, sound system in it was tasty, bruv. The sound system in it was very, very tasty. Obviously, because of the press version, I feel like I had the premium. No, actually, I definitely had the LBX Premium Plus because it had the 18-inch rims on it, and the rims were popping, bruv. Very nice. Maybe that's what made it feel a bit like it sat a bit higher because of the rims, but it just looked bigger. It had more presence.
The thing is, wheels can do that as well.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the mad thing.
And it has a Tazuna cockpit, which means reins. It is a Japanese word for reins of a horse. Tazuna, yeah, if I'm saying that right. So basically, what I will say to explain it to you in the best way possible, Sean, I have not been in a car that's that compact that has all of the amenities you get from a big vehicle. So it's got a really nice, strong sound system that's really good. It's got Apple CarPlay. It's got all of the sensors where you can press the button and see the whole landscape of the vehicle. So when you're parking, for example, in a city environment, and when sometimes you go park in a bay and it's tiny, right? You can see every part of the car, including underneath it, which is really helpful in the city because you don't, sometimes you're in a bay, you're like, I've parked perfectly. You get out and you're like, I'm just over the line or whatever. You can move it around. It's got loads of collision detection stuff. So when I'm driving, it's got heads up display as well, which you see when you're driving. It tells me when someone's coming up behind me on the motorway. It tells me when someone's coming up in front of you. It also tells you, allegedly, I mean, obviously this never happened to me. If you're not paying attention and looking at the road, it will give you a little alarm will go off and say, hey, pay attention to the road. I'd never activated that once. And yeah, it's got a nice little bit of a vibe to it. If you're looking for something that is, absolutely out of this world in terms of pace, I don't know, 336 horsepower in a 1.5 petrol hybrid. There you go. It's a front wheel drive and it's an automatic. So obviously, yeah, it's not going to kill man off the lights. However, because it has...
That's 300 plus brake. 300 plus brake from a 1.5 litre engine is nuts.
No, 136 horsepower. That's what I said.
136.
136. Oh, what do you think I said?
No, you said 300.
No, 136. But because
this is rapid.
Because it's self-charging though, you can feel it uses the combination of the electric powertrain and the conventional
for
petrol.
immediate torque, and then the petrol would kick in
exactly.
The revs. Okay.
And if you're quite smart at letting a dynamo do its thing, yeah, then you can actually just press an EV button, and if you're doing 20 miles an hour, local, it literally uses just electricity until that runs out, and then it kicks back into petrol.
Did you, what's the on Just EV? Is it like a couple of miles range, something like that?
Doesn't feel like very in real life application. Minute or two at a time, 5 minutes maybe. It's like more like, you know, like idle moving in traffic, slowly nipping to the shops, post office, that kind of job.
Yeah.
You could get away with that maybe without using any fuel if you've been out and about. But
which is nice.
once
It's
you're
nice
over
touch.
25, 30 miles an hour on the motorway, you have to be using the fuel.
Yeah.
Do you get me? Because it's just not got the battery capacity for that.
Can I ask, is it a 2023 or 2024 version? I just want to have a look at a picture of it.
It's a brand new release, so
Brand new, yeah.
so it's either of them is the same. So yeah, if you go on the Lexus website, you can see it.
They do class it as an SUV.
There you go. Yeah. Well, I get that.
It's
I get that.
this one, right?
Yeah, that's the one I was in. Yeah, 100%. That's the one I was in. So Sean's looking at the one which is blue. They've got the Urban which comes in yellow. They've got LBX Premium which comes in a little blue and black, and the LBX Premium Plus which has a few extra little bits added onto it. But very pleasurable drive, nice, and genuinely was approached by a couple of people like, is that the LBX? That's quite nice, you know. Spoke to him. So shout out to Simon who bumped into me and offered to film it with me. Couple of my mates who have other hybrids that are very reliable. Like I've a friend of, or someone that we both know has got a Toyota at the moment, and they're like, lovely car, but I want to upgrade into a more luxury experience. They were like, oh, the LBX, you've had a look at, like I mentioned it. They're like, all right, I'm quite interested in it.
What they currently got the Taigo?
They've kind of got like a CHR.
Oh,
Yeah. So they got that, and they were. I was like, this is slightly smaller. They're like, it's fine. Like I want that reliability, which you do get from Lexus, because it's not a secret, innit? Same thing. Not same thing, but related. They're cousins. Should we call them car cousins? Car cousins.
We'll call them
So you get all that reliability, and then also you get that Lexus finish, which still carries.
It does.
Lexus is a premium vehicle, innit? Like, and I don't feel like it's a nice kind of premium because it's not like tacky.
But it's also not like ostentatious.
Yeah.
Like premium. It's
Yeah.
like functional premium.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I like that.
Functional premium. Hey,
Yeah.
Lexus, if you end up like taking that from me,
Yeah.
like sort me on.
Yeah, we're not.
I feel
on
like
yeah.
that's a good catch line. I feel.
That's a good punchline. Yeah,
LBX.
I like it. I had some great fun with it. And it was, I took it for a ride. We drove it because I was doing some. I was actually doing something else that I almost forgot about, but I'll talk about it. But yeah, I took it for a drive to Bristol and back again, which is a long drive. So if someone like my size, my concern is big guy in a small car. Is my back going to be okay? My back.
What's that? 2.5 hours? 3 hours?
Just 3 hours there, 3 hours back.
Okay.
Back was fine. I will say though.
What about going there? Sorry. Sorry. You continue.
No joke, but, back was fine on the way back, and back was fine on the way there. But I will say though, I'm 6'3", put the seat all the way back, not much room in the back for anyone. So I'd say if you were smaller, like if you were like a 5'11" or whatever than that, there might be more space for like 5 of you in the car. But if there's me in the front driving and maybe someone on my side in the passenger side, I don't think there's much room in the back there. So it's quite small.
Right,
and
okay.
that's the difference between that and a slightly bigger vehicle like the ones I mentioned earlier. So, but decent boot space though, quite a nice boot space. But it's a small car, so it's a city car. Get it on the motorway and do your thing, but it's not got the most space. Do you know what I mean? I probably could get someone behind me.
That's kind of compromise.
Yeah, that's the compromise that you're paying. It's that kind of, for me, I'm slightly bigger than your average person, I'd say. So
If I was sitting in the front, I could sit at the back.
I could sit at the back. No. Yeah, you can sit at the back, 100%. Comfortably, I think you'll find. And I think there was a USB-C charger at the back as well, which is nice.
Which is nice.
Nice little thing, yeah. And it has all the other amenities that you get in a car as well. Cruise control, AC, obviously, that's more than a standard nowadays, you get me? So yeah, it's quite a nice little one. And we drove to Bristol. This is one that I didn't discuss with you before we started the show, Sean. It's a piece of content I'll be putting out on my socials and on YouTube as well. But I actually learned the art of knife sharpening. I went and met the guys behind Tog Knives.
You did mention this to me some time ago.
Yeah.
Oh, what was it like?
It was lovely, man. I met up with Bert. He's the guy that invented Tog Knives, and he gave me the story of how he became infatuated with knife sharpening, and their thing is, right, to be really brief and summarize it, is
Cut to the chase, bro.
to cut to the sorry, so let me just slice right into the peel back the layers of this. Is I feel like there's so
Alex will
much.
chop it up, though,
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna say before we start chopping it up, is that one of the first things they say is it's about quality over quantity. Now I am somebody who has a lot of knives in the drawer, and I just kind of pick out the sharpest one, use that until that's not the sharpest anymore, and then go for the next sharpest one.
Definitely.
I do have like a rudimentary knife sharpener. I might whip it out at Christmas. Do I know what I'm doing? No. I'm just like.
Is it a whetstone or is it one that you hold that has, what do you call it?
Ooh.
Circular discs.
Ooh, Sean.
That you put in the middle.
Somebody knows about knife sharpening. Yeah, so basically.
I played RPGs. You always have a whetstone to sharpen your blade.
So in the content that I made, but I can talk you through it, he actually showed me some of the old techniques and some current techniques, and then he showed me whetstone sharpening. So in the box with a knife, you get like a little thing to show the perfect angle, and then you can get different grades of whetstone, and he showed me how to sharpen it. We went from quite coarse sharpening. We had a rod as well, which you use to kind of make sure the blade's nice and straight, and we actually kinked up a knife, like messed up a knife a little bit.
Kinked up a knife,
yeah. And then got it nice and sharp again, and we finished it off with leather. Leather is how you get that super fine finish. And
It's like extrapolation of filing your nails.
Well,
you know, people have they have the square ones, and each side is a bit less coarse. Isn't it? You got to go. I'm guessing it's kind of like. No, fair enough.
I mean, at a stretch, I'd say it's not the exact same skill set.
Is it not?
No.
Perfect.
But I mean, the knife was so sharp. What's funny was I was like, "Wow, how sharp is it?" And went there with my finger, but was like, "No, bro." It's like he teaches you to sharpen them really well. And their thing is have a good knife and treat it well, and have a knife for life. Do you know what I mean?
And you know what Bear Grylls says?
What?
A blunt knife is a dangerous knife.
Yes. I mean, I didn't learn how to do the quick chopping, but Bert got the knife so sharp, he cut just for a bit of fun. We did some cutting and stuff you see in the video, so you can see how well it goes through tomatoes and stuff. He cut a grape into like 40 bits.
I've seen as well where they turn the knife and they drop something on it and it just goes.
That could we should have done that. That could definitely happen, but like you could just. Cutting with a properly sharp knife is absolutely amazing. So we learned about knife sharpening, and he kind of talks me through, the story. I can give you a little bit of the story behind it, but it was basically he went over and basically spent some time
to Japan.
Yeah, I went to Japan and met up with master sword makers. Cool. And people that it's their profession to make sharp blades. So, for example. A good blade is a combination of hard and soft steel. I think steel, if that's the right correct use. So like, soft to sharpen it, which you need a soft core so you can sharpen it, but you also need it to be tough in places, but not too tough so it doesn't shatter. So he spent a lot of time researching and became infatuated with how to make a knife properly. And now they have these knives that are created that are absolutely amazing at chopping. There's loads more in the video that he talks to me about. It's really, really good. But they've told me about this as well. They said I can tell you. They've got a 30-day trial, so you can buy the knife. See, if you could do it with a knife, why can't you do it with a house? Sorry. But
same.
Yeah. So you can buy a knife, try it out for 30 days, and if you don't like it, send it back. And that is saying that they're really sure of it. But yeah, a bit about them. So they said knives were the first tools that human invented. That's true. We were drawn to them with a primitive fascination in the same way we are drawn to the flickering flames of a fire. There you go. If you can't honor a knife unless you use it. So they use steel, and they have master sword makers that help put together their range, and they've researched that, and they've got a whole range of knives now. But there's like a knife that he said was a great starter knife. It's the Sukkot. I'm gonna just make sure I get the right one. It's the Santoku.
A Santoku knife. It's got like the little indentations on the side of it.
Yeah,
the Santoku knife, right?
Yeah, that's right. And it's got copper in it as well for aesthetic reasons. So it's got this nice kind of look at it.
Patina. Got a patina.
Is that what it is? Oh.
It's like if you have a watch and the face of it is like aged.
Yeah.
You call that a patina.
Okay. All right.
I don't know whether he calls that a patina or not. Probably not, because it doesn't sound like it was something they mentioned. But
I'm being so careful talking about this because I'm aware that it's like ancient tradition combined with a new product, and I'm not very wise. Like I said, I was somebody who just had a bunch of sharp knives. But shout out to Bert. He taught me how to sharpen knives, and he's blessed me with a knife as well, which I will treat and sharpen. Sean, one day,
I'm not gonna lie.
One day I might cut you some cucumber if you want. I might cut your cucumber. What? Easy.
I'm not gonna lie. that sounds like a fun experience.
Also, as I get older, I find we have a lot going on, right? Sometimes just the art of doing something well in your own time is so cathartic.
100%. And also, I think as well is as you maybe doesn't work for everyone, but as you get older, you're like, I don't need 12 of these. I just need one amazing one.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just going to get one and it's going to last me for 10 years instead of me buying one every 2 years.
Yeah, 100%, man. Like I'm like that with footwear now. Like I obviously, we have a few nice pair of kicks when we go out, but my day-to-day running shoe or walking shoe or whatever like that, one of the reasons I like it is it's an investment. Like pence per step, I'm getting the most value out of that trainer. If I was to get one of my fancy trainers and wear it as much as I do this gym, I wear it to the gym, run, jog, when they're slightly newer, I might wear them to meetings or walking around and stuff like that. The amount and the fact that I feel comfortable and nice as well, and the fact that like when I'm preparing food and stuff like that, it's nice to have a nice knife that you're chopping up 100%. Stuff with.
There's certain things as well, isn't it? There's certain things like make a difference to you. Maybe a knife not as much as like buying a mattress that you're going to sleep on every day or whatever. But if you enjoy cooking, that will like I know some people who they got like gifts, like they got like a knife as a gift. It was like $3 for a knife, but like they still talk about it, about how much they enjoy using it to cook. So I'm like,
yeah, man. I think it's something I can get into. Like,
and obviously, if you keep it like, for instance, my mum, she had a cleaver. That cleaver was around before I was born, before my sister was born.
Heavy.
My sister still has it, but that's like 40. It's like 40 years old, and it's still going strong. And just got to sharpen it every now and again. It's probably got the cleaver is like big, and then it's probably got slightly smaller over time.
Yeah, my grandparents had one where actually you could see there was a slight dip in it, where they've been sharpening over the years because they've obviously sharpened the middle quite a bit because they needed to. Yeah, man, like you're right. Like I think I'm about, the right tool for the right job. Like, and I always say to people, like, get the best thing that you can, respect it as a tool. Yeah, because I think there's a lot of throwaway nature in this our culture right now. Like, there's stuff that people just wear once, use once, buy some knives from, your local shop or supermarket, rinse them and then chuck them away. But these are made with like care. They've got handles that aren't just some little plasticky handles. It's a proper knife. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to get into some sharpening. You'll see the content. We'll put a link to it, but you can find it on the YouTube somewhere. We'll pop it out there. But yeah, man, I had a real good time with Tog Knives. And yeah, you can get in there. I mean, for the knife that I was talking about, you are looking at about 300 quid. Yeah, knife for life though. No, 350-ish, and then you get all of the stones as well. And also, like, what I liked about meeting Bert was he wasn't against other ways of sharpening. He's like, but this is what I prefer, using the whetstone stuff. And I think it's something about just, I think it's about the, like, just being... It's
ceremonious in a way, right?
Ceremony, yeah. And it's like, it's something about just, maybe this is just a man thing, yeah? But it's something about just being like, I have now made this tool into the best it can be. Like, and as you do it, you get better. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, that'll cut through anything. That drop a tomato on it, cut it. I don't know what it is. Like, I'm like, yes, I've done it.
Probably is a bit of there's some primitive.
It is, man.
Right?
Bro, you know the feeling you get when you make a fire? Even a barbecue, bro. Like, not a gas one, but like, if I light a barbecue, I'm like, when the fire goes up, you're like, man, make fire. Yeah, that's what I'm like. Yeah, that's what it is. So maybe it's like getting into that. But yeah, man, I had a really good time on that. And yeah, like I feel like I learned a lot. Hold tight for the video. My sharpening technique is pants, by the way, but he absolutely nailed it. We'll get in and out of this one real quick because we've been talking about kilobits for quite a while. I just came back from Shaw. They've released a brand new microphone. It's called the Nexadine microphone. It's a dual dynamic vocal microphone that has got 2 bits of tech in it. I will talk about this properly on another show, but it's basically they've taken the power of 2 mics, smashed them together into one, and I'm really excited about it because I think they may be onto a microphone that could change the podcasting game.
Okay.
It could. Even though it's not designed for it, I think it could change the podcasting game because of what it does, price point, and Shaw's history. But we've done loads of that, so I think it's time for us to move on to our next bit of the show, which is our stories of the week. Week story. I think I went first last week, innit? So do you want to go first? Have you got stuff, or do you want me to crack right on?
I believe I have some stuff. I do have stuff
Yeah.
in a tab here. Here it is. Ooh, what to go? Got to go for first. Right. I've got an update on a previous story.
Update.
It's not all that exciting,
Okay.
but I thought, as I saw it, I thought we might need to give a.
Go for it.
It's the man who got the 5 women pregnant at the same time. Do you remember this, Donny?
I think for the listener, please refresh their memory.
Okay. So there was a chap who I believe he's a musician. He's a musician of sorts. He ended up getting 5 ladies pregnant around the same time.
Right.
So they're all with his child.
Yeah. Because we weren't sure at the time whether this was a viral
Yeah, well, I mean, it's
thing or not. Like, I mean, the
it's
things
still,
people do for clout is mad. But
I know, right? Like chop their legs off or stuff,
freeze their legs off. Yeah.
Oh, that's more for money, but no. So this guy, and they all knew about, because there's like a picture of all of them together, so they all know about each other, and they're all like on board with the fact that all of them are having a baby, and they're like bonding over it.
They looked happy in the photo.
They did.
It looked like it looked like they had the village to raise the children.
We did discuss in length about how useful it would be for like childminders, etc.
Yeah.
It feels a bit strange to me, but who am I to judge? I'm not trying to impart my relationship ideas on anyone else.
Can I just jump right in? I might think there's another person that we spoke about, or an animal that we spoke about, and that was the lion that was being pestered for sex. I feel like maybe they would have something in common, because he would need to get his electrolytes in. He'd need to be getting his he'd need to be hydrating, making sure he had his salts whilst he was attempting to make 5 babies at the same damn time. Because it's not always a one-shot wonder.
Man,
you get me?
Fertile, bro.
Fertile, firing off. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Please continue. Yeah. We're not judging anyone for it. If everyone's happy,
that's what I'm saying.
happy. No harm, no foul.
And yeah, exactly that. So he threw all of the mums to be a joint baby shower.
What?
I think that's a smart thing to do.
Now.
And they all agreed to it, I'm guessing. Sounds like it.
So let's think about it, right? If you were to get the same woman pregnant 5 times, you'd have to do 5 baby showers, right? So now he's made the cost of this 1/5.
He's onto something here, isn't it?
Right? I'm just saying, innit? Like one venue. Maybe you have to order a bit more food, right? You get me? But and I'm sure he can get a deal. Like, look, we've got the balloons to pop. If is it a balloon reveal, whatever? When they pop the balloons, look, I'm getting 5 in it. Cut me a deal in it.
Do you know what I mean? Economies of scale on that.
Yeah, 5 for 4, 5 for 3. You get me? I think, you know what? He's onto something.
Thinking.
He's onto something. He's definitely doing thinking. So he's held a 5-person baby shower.
5-way baby shower. We'll call
5-way baby shower. You've made that sound so sordid, but it's all good. So he's got them all pregnant close enough to have the baby shower at the same time then?
Bro, it literally says here, like saying that they were all pregnant at pretty much exactly the same time.
So the headline is, man throws baby shower for his 5 baby mamas at the same time. Wild.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would want to attend this party, Sean.
Intrigue might get the better of me if I was invited.
You got to bring a gift to a baby shower, haven't you?
Yeah, you got to bring gifts to this one, though, isn't it? 5
gifts. Now, what's working for him is now working against me.
Yeah.
I might have to just text in and be like, good luck. Let me know. Can I attend on Zoom? Post-COVID, can I attend on... Because, bruv, that's... like, kids' stuff ain't cheap, bruv. So now you're going in there, you're spending a night... You could do a bit of damage, Especially if they've got a list of stuff. People have lists, like wedding lists, people have lists all the time. Stuff. So now you're late to the list, yeah? Or because there's now five times the amount of family that are there. Someone's going to come in and grab all of the little cheaper baby grows. You've now got to buy 5 rocking chairs. Yeah? And I'm not happy. Car money.
But you know what it's like, innit? With baby stuff, yeah? It's like, this normal chair, 40 quid.
Yeah.
This, exactly the same, identical normal chair, but we'll call it for babies or toddlers, 3 bills.
There you go.
You're like, what? Isn't that the... Yeah, but
it's made out of fire safety wood that will not burn or whatever. Yeah, there's another table made out of it. Don't worry about that, mate. Look, shh, relax. So yeah, please continue, Sean. Sorry, that is just where I'm at.
It was more of an update to the story because they're like saying, we love our baby daddy. We will not ruin our children's lives. This has been accepted by all of our families. There's nothing left to do but help one another.
I think he should have done 6.
Why did he stop at 5?
Because if they were cool, hear me out. If they were cool, am I getting the maths right? Yeah. 6. Because if they were cool, look, seeing as everyone's all right with sharing the same his fluids, they could have 3 wet nurses. Yeah. And then 3 baby mamas have the day off and they have 3 wet nurses, and that's 2 boobs, 1 baby on each boob, 6 kids. That works. But with 5 baby mamas, if 2 want to take the day, only 2 can take the day off. Do you get what I'm saying? And there's 5 kids and there's 1 spare boob. I'm just saying 6 would have been a nice round number. Maybe he should have done that. It's too late. Maybe next time.
He should have thought about it more.
Yeah. Because I'm just thinking now you can't have a fair set of shifts.
Maybe, but maybe he's done it. Do you reckon he's done it on purpose?
To cause a little bit of, maybe he wants a little go. I don't know. Maybe from nothing's off the cards for this guy.
You're like, there's going to be a boost, mate. He's like, no, there isn't.
He's like, excuse me. Try to save money on all the food that we've got. Yeah, but nappies is going to be mad. That's bro. It's going to be like, and also like, you're going to have to get 5 kids into a routine as well. I don't know. Maybe they all live separately. I don't know how that works. I'm presuming that they all live together.
I know that was it says truly it takes a village, and that's what's been said. But I'm like,
yeah,
they've all said that they've all agreed to work together, and they're like describing it as being born into a big family.
Okay. I get it, bro. There's places in the world where this still happens, right? There is places where this still happens, and I'm hoping that everybody's up for it, and that's cool. Right, so, but what I'm saying is
everyone seems to be up for it before.
He's got a 5-a-side team, but no sub. That's why I should have done 6 as well. No substitute. And do we know girl, boy, girl?
No, it doesn't. I'm going to guess that might be a gender reveal. We need to know about their gender reveal.
He made like YouTube music videos. He's probably going to make another music video for this, innit? Where he does.
I don't know, but you better make some content because he looks like he's going to need the peas, bro. Because it doesn't look it's one of them ones here. Do you think that these 5 ladies are going to be looking to work and support themselves?
I don't know. They'd have to get together and have a conversation if they wanted to do like.
Otherwise, this guy's got to be doing pretty well to be like, I'm going to support all 5 kids.
It's pricey for families. 1 kid. Yeah. So
you know what
I mean, I guess they'd have to sit down and have a vote. Have a vote in it. There's enough people. Oh, that's why he did 5.
No, but there's 5 plus him.
I know, but I reckon he can step in and just swing the balance if he wants to. He can say
he's the deciding vote.
He can say like if there's is it with jury services, if it's split then it goes one way or whatever. Maybe so he can leave it as 5. If 3 go one way and 2 go the other, and he wants to kind of keep things his way. He goes, yeah, I'm gonna have to step in right here and add my little vote into the mix.
We've got a tie break.
This guy is playing 3D chess. This guy is working on another plane.
It's all about everything, man.
This guy is unlocking dimensions I'm not even ready for, bruv, with this. But yeah, man, he's got to either work really hard or they've all got to work really hard. But there might, if they're cool with wet nursing, there could be some rotors and stuff like that where, you know, if you've got 5 women willing to work.
I've never heard of this term before, but I'm just nodding like, yeah.
Wet nurse?
Yeah, wet nurse.
Sometimes, yeah, it can happen. Like maybe like a mother loses her life when she gives birth. There are women that if you continue breastfeeding, you can continue to breastfeed for a very long time. So there are some women who just they're not
pregnant.
So they've had their child, but if a child keeps consuming breast milk, I don't know the technique for it, but they keep consuming breast milk.
No, can you explain the technique to me better, please?
I'm just she can't see it, but like you don't even have to do that. Right? This is how you look. Yeah. I'll tell you when you've had enough. No, yeah, they create milk and they
lactating.
Yeah. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if like royals had wet nurses and stuff like that back in the day. Do you know what I mean? Like, you got to go off and do your royal stuff. Like, someone's got to make sure the kids looked after. Have a wet nurse, you know. Boom, that's it. Just milk. Yeah, it's a thing.
And you don't want to pump.
Back in the day when that weren't an option, I presume you know where it came from. Yeah. But yeah. I suppose, yeah. I mean, they could pump as well. Yeah, it's a thing. Some women like have problems or whatever and stuff like that. So there's like a need for breast milk. So some people express and pump.
Yeah.
And send it off to breast milk banks as well. There's that stuff as well. Like, huge shortage. I remember reading something about that. A huge shortage in like America. I don't know what it's like over here.
Okay.
Not really the kind of thing I'm Googling at the moment, if I'm honest. Like my Google search history is nefarious enough without throwing that into the mix and blend. If you saw that in there with all the other stuff, you'd be like, what is going on? Oh man. But I want an update of the update.
I'm gonna keep an eye out.
Yeah.
For any updates.
All right, cool.
I'm sure.
Well, Sean, we've pretty much hit an hour, you know? You know what I mean? So I think it's time to bounce out of here. I feel like I spoke a lot about kilobits this week.
I think you spoke about a lot. You spoke a lot.
Yeah.
Just in general. Can't get a word in edgeways.
Okay, bye. How to Kill an Hour on socials. Marcus Bronzy on socials. Where can we find you, Sean?
So you've definitely left me no time to tell people where they can find me. Left me no time at all, and this is usually what happens. This is the kind of shit that I'm talking about.
What?
This exactly is the kind of shit I'm talking about.
Sean, I'm sure like you have enough time.
No, you always do this to me. You never give me
Sean, you got enough time.
Always stealing the spotlight.
All right, Sean,
and just never giving me.
Do it, darling, Sean. 3, 2, 1, go for it.
For a second.